Hi everyone. So we are going to discuss the paper 2, investigating large business. The 4BS 102R regional paper, 2020 June, BS Red Excel paper. So this one actually the question of 1 and 2. We actually in my previous session we have discussed the question of 1 and 2. I'll recap the case study again. This case study was a large business about the Hans Raj Mahajan Worldwide HRMW. It's like a manufacturing organization of the sports gear, and we talk about that they're actually a family-run business, and they started like 1925. So 95 years ago, and then they actually mainly their product portfolio include manufacturing of footballs, boxing gloves, hockey sticks, and sporting clothes. So we talk about the question number 1, the MCQ, 6 MCQ questions, and then we talk about the defined question of commission, revenue, state reason for having short span of control. We talk about the calculation part, small percentage increase of the revenue, and then we talk about the explain why business would sponsor it. And then we talk about this analyze question, analyze benefit of HRM, like branding its product and then we talk about question number 2. Question number 2, we talk about state question, state one function of the human resource department, and state one reason why human HRMW carry out market research. Explain questions, explain one benefit of penetration pricing, and explain one benefit of using internet to carry out the secondary market research, and explain one benefit of continually introducing new products. And 9-marker question we have to talk about today, the Kaizen and just in time. So this is a 9-mark question, first 9-mark question coming from this paper. The case study is HRMW. You know that this 9-mark question is normally based on production management, operation management part. HRMW is always looking to improve its method of production. To do this, it's considering using the following 2 options. Option 1, Kaizen. Option 2, just-in-time JIT system. So both of method, you can see the Kaizen is a manufacturing part of the lean production, like a continuous improvement method, the Japanese concept. And then just-in-time, also they're using like a minimum stock level. They're not using any actually, they don't have any stock holding costs. When there is an order, they're ordering. That time you must have quick supply chain management. You quickly order from the supplier and then you manufacture. So both methods are really good methods to increase the methods of production, to improve this method of production. These are both options are okay. The 9-marker structure is normally, as I told you, you have to select one option, just option, and then this one option must be either option 1 or option 2. So don't write about the both options. Pick one option, and then after you can actually go through that one option. You can give one method is the best method. You can give 2 advantages and 1 disadvantage of the method, and some kind of a like an ending, like a conclusion. However, it depends on thing. If you talk about Kaizen, so not in 9 markers, the important thing is 9 marker. We are checking only A or 2, 3, 4. Therefore, no need to define. So don't waste your time by defining what is Kaizen, or what is defining what is just in time or something. So you can straight away you can go to the advantage of the Kaizen. And then you have to link to the case study. Can you select 2 Meliba points in that case? Make the point, explain the point, and then link to the case study and write the impact on the business and business area. So when you talk about the Kaizen, so it's a method of actually continuously improve something, part of the lean management. Okay, let's go to have a look at the marking scheme, what they're saying about the Kaizen thing. So it's sport manufacturing companies, Kaizen will be important. This is question on part 2F. You can see here 2 AO2, AO3, AO4, 3 marks, 3 marks, 3 marks. So Kaizen method application, you can see if by using this method, the employees are involved in the process of improving the production of the sports and sports manufacture. They manufacture normally. By using this method, the employees are involved in the process of improving the production of sports product and manufacture. So they can improve their sports product manufacture. And also look at the analysis point. By using Kaizen, the employees know firsthand where the improvement in the production of the sports products could be made. That is, employees know firsthand where improvement in the production of sports product could be made. Under Kaizen, there are certain advantages are there. If you talk about the Kaizen, they're using normally the team working, like mainly the quality circle, which is continuously improving. Day by day, we are going to identify what are the things that we can introduce, what are the things that we can do to improve the organization production methods. So as a result, that's why employees are really know they thorough about the system, about the organization's the improvements where the production they can make some difference. So we want to increase that thing. Therefore, that's why the employees know the first hand because they are involved in directly with production methods. So employees are directly involved in the manufacturing process. Therefore, they are very thorough with the production process. As a result of that, they can actually they know that's why it's called the first hand. The employees know first hand where improvements in the production sports product could be made because if you talk about just employees know everything firsthand, that is no application. So you talk about employees know firsthand the improvement of production of sports products. Application is there because this Hansraj Mahajan worldwide company, they are producing athletic sports gear. So sports gear they are manufacturing, though they know everything because quality circles being used. And they are reducing the all that lean production techniques like a Kaizen method is continuously how you improve. So Japanese concept, continuous improvement. So you can say they know employees know the first hand where improvements made. And also, however, point you can say even the Kaizen of there are some drawbacks. You can see, however, there is no guarantee. You can't guarantee that the employees are willing to help improve the production of sports products, thereby saving the business money. That's why there's another evaluation point. You can say the Kaizen method, we cannot guarantee that the employees are willing to help to improve because sometimes some workers are they working for just for money. And then their mainly ultimate objective of they're doing is sometimes job security or they actually don't want to give anything else. They're working for a salary. So sometimes it's very difficult to actually get their commitment into the continuous improvement because they are working for just they are thinking, okay, I have to come here at this time, I have to leave that organization this time. I don't have any other relationship with the organization. I don't want to give anything to improve that organization. Like there's some people, some organizations, some workers are there. They cannot guarantee that the employees are willing to help. Some people are willing. Some employees are not willing because that's an additional job. There's additional pay because they have to go to company meetings. They have to go to company right now quality circles, everything. So it will be sometimes they feel that it's a waste of time and they are taking our ideas free of charge and they are going to develop this by using our own ideas and they are not giving anything return back to us. Like that, some workers are not willing. They are not willing to help improving the like organization thing. That's why there is no guarantee about that thing, but the willingness of the employees to help to improve the production of sports product, thereby saving the business money. Right? It will be so as a result of that. So thereby saving the business money. So, but that's why if you talk about the Kaizen, like there are Kaizen very minimum, I guess it's a very tough question sometimes for a lot of students. Why I'm saying it's a tough question because just in time was just in time was checking the syllabus like several times, but Kaizen they haven't actually for a 9-marker. They checked recently only. They actually talk about the Kaizen method. So then as a result of that, you can see option 1 is a very good, this question was a really good question. Kaizen and just in time. Option 1 Kaizen, option 2 just in time. So Kaizen, what are the benefits? Benefit of Kaizen, you can see they can improve the process step by step, they can actually improve the process. Employees are not like they know everything, they know firsthand how to do where the improvement of the production process could be made, because they are getting the employees' ideas into the business organization to improve that. As a result, they can they improve the manufacturing process. Okay. However, there is no guarantee. That's the thing. Always you have to find the other side of the answer, argument against the Kaizen, anything like that, because any concept, it can be Kaizen, it can be just in time, or it can be a lean management, or anything. It can be actually you cannot actually guarantee that workers are participating willingly. So this is the thing. Okay, now we go to the second option. Second option is just in time. Just in time application, you can see they can use the just in time. With just in time, employees do not waste time waiting for materials to arrive. such as leather used to make football, like that. They sometimes do not waste time waiting for materials to arrive. So that's another like kind of a, you can see what just in time they don't define there. So they are saying that application employees do not waste time. There is no waiting time because you have to order the items, but there's a quick production supply chain is very quick. That's why the waiting time will be, leading time will be very low. So you have to order, but because of the quick delivery, this will be okay to arrive, such as leather used to make footballs. Talk about the analysis point of time. It says that this saves the Hansraj Maharaja, the HRMW, from having to have space to stores and material from which it makes sporting product, and this saves the cost. So as a result of that, it's another advantage just in time. You can actually save the space, or you can this extra space you can rent out. The space will be the stores and everything. You can actually eliminate that, and so maintenance costs, stock control, the storekeepers, everything you can remove. As a result, that a lot of space will be saved, and then you can utilize that extra space for something else, or to store materials from which it make producing product, and this save the cost. Sometimes you can utilize that extra space. You can actually rent out for another business to store their material or something. And however, point of just in time, you can see just in time can only work provided employees making football work at the same rate and that supplier delivers the leather on time. That's why. However, it depends. You can see, however, it depends. However, the success of the just in time, it depends on the workers' productivity, the rate of the productivity. They are working the same rate, and however, depends on other factor, the supplier delivery, supplier prompt delivery on leather is application. If you just say supplier delivery, that's wrong because you haven't any application. So you have to write some application: delivery of leather on time, delivery of say wood on time, delivery of fabric on time. Something, because they are using sport equipments they are manufacturing. You can mention like how it depends on the suppliers prompt delivery and the workers' productivity. Like always give some kind of a evaluation, like always give kind of a like a at the end you can give kind of a AO4 evaluation at the end. However, it depends. You can see Kaizen success is depending on the employee's commitment. Okay? However, the Kaizen success will be depending on the employee's commitment, willingness to help, willingness to improve the production. So always make sure in 9 marker you have to write however it depends point, the disadvantage side. Okay, so that's I think that you get the answer. So organizations actually both methods are okay. Writing for a 9 marker question, then you can actually determine like that method. I think you can get a good idea about that thing. So you can either select Kaizen, I select just in time, and then you like that. So I believe that you can understand, take one option and then you do advantages and one disadvantage, or however one depends on time. And at the end, don't forget to write some small conclusion. Overall, Hansraj Maharajan will be benefited by using Kaizen because continuous the improvement. As a result of that, they can improve their production techniques, the quality of the material. We can get the help of the workers from their point of view. Then the workers who are in the process and everything, they will be like to help to improve the organization thing. But how it depends on their commitment. Like and then like a kind of a conclusion at the end where you can actually talk about the Kaizen is best or just in time is the best. Then at the end you can actually be able to, I think, provide a good answer for this question. You can go to like a 9 out of 9. In order to reach the 9 out of 9, definitely you have to write a small conclusion like AJKO model called Anthony Joshua knockout option. Like it's called like answer the question, right? Give some kind of a judgment, yeah, like overall you support your answer, what you have written, summarize again. If you have give kind of a negative point, then you can give some solution for it, and then you kind of a overall idea. Overall, Kaizen will be helping the organization to answer the question. So to improve the method of production, Kaizen will be the best, or just in time will be the best. Like that, give kind of like an ending sentence. That will be the only way you can go to 9 out of 9. Okay, so that's the end of the question number 2. So let's go to question number 3, because today I'm going to finish the question number 3 and 4. You can see question number 3, starting with the defined question. HRMW employs staff to design the product it manufactures. The aim is to add features so that the products are better than any other on the market. So what they're going to do, they employ staff to design. They employ staff members to design products it manufactures. The aim is to add features. The aim is to add features so that the products are better than any other on the market. So design staff is really important because there are designers like everything like a fashion designers. So they're asking what is the definition of the e-tailers, right? E-tailer, sometimes you call this is a e-tailing or e-commerce. E-tailing, right? So e-tailer is a very good definition. Okay, you can, if you know the answer, you can actually communicate. You can use a chat line to communicate. E-tailing, electronic retailing, electronic retailing. What is that? You see here the answer. I'm going to share this right now. The e-tailing answer: the use of electronic system to sell goods and services. Yes, the use of electronic systems to sell goods and services. So instead of writing electronic system, if someone write what happened like using internet to sell goods and services, that also like a valid answer because they say accept any other appropriate response. The definition question, there is no one particular definition. Any other appropriate response also we can take into our consideration. Normally,
but if you say electronic retailing, it's correct.
Electronic retailing, like electronic material. Instead of using electronic, you say internet. That's also correct answer. Using internet to sell goods and services, but keyword must be there. So selling goods and services, that must be there. Selling goods and services. They're using this electronic platform or online platform, internet platforms, websites or something like that. You must mention electronic systems, website, online platform to sell goods and services. So that's a correct answer for the definition question like this. So we had to have that idea. E-tailing, e-tailers, electronic platforms to sell goods and services. 2-mark question outline. Outline one reason why HRMW uses robotics in the production of its goods. Okay, the first time they're asking like outline question of the robotics question. Outline one reason why the HRMW uses robotics in the production of its goods. You know, robotics is expensive method because only large business papers, only this kind of questions are coming because, you know, small businesses, sole traders, partnership, they can't afford robots. So large companies only they can afford robots like Toyota. So here also they're saying outline one reason why HRMW uses robotics in the production of its goods. So you can see here the marking scheme answer. So robotics normally efficient. That's the main thing, efficient and very productive. So you can apply to the context here. You can see HRMW uses robots in the manufacture of these sports because they are more accurate than employees. They are more accurate than the employees. So you can say it's humans. So reducing the number of errors, the product distributed to customers. And they work 24/7 hours without having a break, which means that more sports products are made. Okay. So in 2-marker, you have to get a 2 out of 2. What you have to do? You have to write a point and you have to apply to that. So 1 mark award for identify the reason, and another further 1 mark for the linking into the case study. So here what is the main point? The reason here why they're using robotics because it's more accurate, and as a result of that, it reduces the number of errors in the production, right? And then another thing, you can say they work 24/7 hours without breaking. So accuracy, efficiency, accuracy, those are the points. And application, look at the things, which means that more sport products they can make, more sports accessories they can make. So definitely have to write down this HRM using robots manufacture these sportswear because they are more accurate than employees. Therefore, they can produce more output, more sports product they can make. So you have to write sports product. If you just write they can produce more output, wrong. We have to write more sports products. Based on the case study, only you have to write, otherwise 1 out of 2. Okay, so they say do not accept a reason. Do not accept a reason that is not in the context of HRM. That's the thing. They're giving that thing very thoroughly what kind of answers you have to write. So we can't accept any reason without the context. Okay, next one is a calculation question. Okay, I'll invite you to send the answers. So HRMW produces tennis rackets with the following cost. Fixed cost 300,000 rupees, variable cost 3,000 rupees, selling price 5,000 rupees. So one selling record in India can see 5,000 rupees, and the variable cost 3,000 rupees, and the fixed cost per year 300,000 rupees. Calculate the number of tennis rackets. They would have to be break even. You advance show your workings. Break even quantity. The formula that's not given in the formula sheet. So break even, you should know, should memorize this formula. Break even rackets, break even formula equals fixed cost divided by contribution. Fixed cost divided by contribution. How to find the contribution? Selling price minus variable cost. So therefore, fixed cost over selling price minus variable cost. Yeah, I got the answer from a couple of students. Yeah, so it's 300,000 divided by 5,000 minus 2,000, 3,000. So 5,000 minus 3,000. So selling price, fixed cost divided by selling price minus variable. So 300,000 divided by 5,000 minus 3,000. Okay, so then you can see the answer. If you deducted the 300,000 from 2,000, 300,000 divided by 2,000, you get the 150 tennis rackets. Yes, once you get the correct answer, I'll show you the answer. So show your workings always. That's always be some kind of positive point, because in case you answer wrong, still you can get the mark for the workings. You can see substitution. So contribution they found, first of all, 5,000 selling price minus 3,000 variable cost. So SP minus VC is 2,000. So then break even quantity is equal fixed cost divided by contribution. That's 300,000 over 2,000, 150 tennis rackets. 150 is the answer. And the answer you have to write down in the given space 150 tennis rackets. Tennis rackets, right? So normally they are giving this one. Either it's a glove sword, right? Tennis racket sword, cricket, bat sword, whatever thing they are giving, right? Okay, so then we are going to the part D, analyze question. Analyze the limitations of HRMW of using break-even chart. Okay, it's a really good technical question. Limitation of break-even chart when planning the manufacture of tennis rackets. They're planning to manufacture tennis rackets. So then, what is the limitations of using this break-even chart? Break-even, we got the break-even formula here, and then you got the answer for break-even 150. They're asking the limitations of them, not the good side. They're asking what are the bad side, what are the limitations, what are the drawbacks of using break-even chart. The break-even chart, the general meaning, you can see the break-even is a situation where there is no profit and no loss. So analyze question, you don't need to define, but you can say break-even chart, we normally using some kind of assumption to the break-even. Like there is no stocks, and then the fixed cost is actually stable during that time. Like that, they are making some assumption, and total cost and total revenue curves are like a linear. They are not like a non-linear, they are like a straight lines. Like this kind of like assumptions we are making, which is irrational. So that's the first limitation. You can say the assumption that we are making for the break-even chart. For example, a very common limitation, you can see the break-even, they are assuming that there is no closing stock. But every organization you can see, especially manufacturing organization, there is a closing stocks. But in break-even, we analyzing there is no stocks. Everything we are producing, we are going to sell it. So that like that. So that is actually can validate your answer. That's a one point. And second point, you can say like the break-even, the accuracy of the data. Right? The accuracy of the data will be subjective. If the data is strong, then right. So it's like that's a situation we normally call it garbage in, garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out. Which means like if you take the bad information, right? If you take the wrong information, and then that is your output also wrong, right? So that's a normal policy of the principle of break-even, and a lot of models we can use that thing. And using assumption is one limitation. Second one is the accuracy of the data. You get the wrong information, then you get the wrong output, and their decision will be wrong. So these points you have now, students, you have to apply the context. Application of the context is the most important part. It is assumption thing and the garbage in, garbage out thing. So those things you have to apply the context of the HRMW, like Hans Raj in sports manufacturing. What are the things that they're going to do with this? You can see the model answers. Using break-even charts assumes that all the tennis rackets are sold. As I told you, there is no stocks, closing stock. So without saying closing stock, you can say closing stock tennis rackets. Closing stock of tennis rackets are sold. Like that's a good application. That's the thing. Always use example of the case study. Whatever you can say tennis racket or cricket balls or gloves, boxing gloves, right? Tennis rackets and the baseball sticks. Everything you can say like hockey sticks. So you can talk anything like they are manufacturing. So that breaking even assume that all the tennis rackets or boxing gloves are sold. And another thing, a simple chart assumes that the cost and revenue for the tennis rackets can be represented by a straight line. I told you this one also. Usually, revenue curves, cost curves are not straight lines. It's go normal like a non-linear method, like a curves normally. But this is the situation where we assume that this actually linear relationship is there between the total cost and total revenue. So, and third evaluation, you can see AO3 as a result of that chart does not show if some of the tennis rackets are kept at stock. So if there is now closing stock is there, the tennis rackets closing stock, then what happens? The chart does not show if some of the tennis racket being unsold. If it remain unsold, that is not showing in the model. That's a limitation. As a result of that, if there is a tennis racket remaining in the business, that is not visible through the break-even chart. That's a limitation. Furthermore, we can see another conjunction, you can see further state, furthermore, on the other hand, right? The second limitation is that because of the simplicity of these curves and everything, and it will be say straight lines. And moreover, there may be other factors also need to be considered, like external factors. Increased output may involve paying staff additional wages to produce more tennis rackets. Right? So not only total revenue, total cost, variable cost, sometimes other external factors, sometimes overtime, sometimes the like economic climate, interest rates, everything should also be affected for the conclusion. You can see like an analysis point, you can write so many things there. Yes. Students actually sending good answers are there. Yeah, your answers are very good, right? So like this is the way that you write. This is good analysis point of the break-even chart, limitations of break-even chart. So what are the main two limitations they are mentioning here? Assumption of that all records, badminton records, everything solved. Application also there. And other thing, simplicity of the curves. It is not simple curve. It is like a normally like a oval shape, non-linear curves. And other thing, actually, I mentioned that thing in my discussion. So garbage in, garbage out. Sometimes if the data, the validity of the data they are using by the HRMW will be subjective. Sometimes external factors also will be affected. The predictions can be go wrong. Forecasted data can be go wrong. The market research information can be go wrong. So if you get the wrong input and you end up with the wrong output, so I told you that simple word: garbage in, garbage out. Therefore, the decision on the tennis rackets, how much they have to produce, everything will be go wrong. As a result, management problems can become like analyzed like that. So I hope that you can understand that you can continue good answer with that. It's a good answer came after a long time from break-even chart. We're going to another 9-mark question. The second 9-mark question, question number 2 there is a 9-mark question. Question number 3 there is a 9-mark question. Right. So what is this 9-marker? This comes from the financial management. R&D, research and development of tennis rackets, before they are produced is essential and can be expensive. R&D of tennis racket before they produce is essential and it's an expensive item, expensive function. R&D. To cover these costs, cover the cost of R&D, HRMW is considering the following two options. So option 1, retain profit. Option 2, selling assets. Retained profits or selling assets. Both are internal methods of financing. You can see there are 3 internal methods of financing: retained profits, selling assets, and the owner's capital. So this time they're asking the 2 internal sources of finance to justify. Both options are okay. Both options are okay. We have to talk about how 2 advantages and 1 disadvantage. You can see like retained profit is a method that you are using the previous year profit of the company HRMW for the organization that is using for the last couple of years their profit, because they are organizing operate for the 95 years right now. From 1925 onward they operated. That's application I have using. So you can say how many years they're operating. So they have how many return profit they have kept in the business, in the reserves. So you can use this reserve in order to do the R&D of the new tennis rackets. So as a result, the return profit will be low cost, cheaper method, because return profit, there is no interest part is there to pay for the Hans Raj manufacturers. And then as a result of that, HRMW, the cost of R&D will go down. There is no external cost, like only the reserves you can use it with low cost, and it's cheaper and it's flexible, no documentation cost. Therefore, R&D will be very flexible and very easy to organize. So HRMW operation department can easily, they can utilize the funds for that, and they can manufacture quality tennis rackets in orderly manner without any hesitation. And return profit, you can say however point return profit sometimes, sometimes management, however, depends on the Hans Raj manufacturing, the department, the directors actually decision. Sometimes shareholders of the HRMW wouldn't like to utilize their return profits to actually do this R&D project. Yes, this problem came even in Apple also, right? Apple manufacturing also, when the Steve Jobs want to use sort of R&D, and he's tried to utilize the return profit and the shares capital in order to do this R&D. But other shareholders and directors were reluctant to give their money this R&D project, because R&D is normally thinking like a sunk cost, which is already actually is a kind of a lot of investors think it's like a there is no productivity. But usually R&D is the important matter in the technology business, especially like tennis racket, sports gears also. R&D is important. So here don't talk about the R&D that much, you talk about the return profit. So return profit advantage, I told you, low cost, flexibility, and no interest rate, and easy to obtain because it's 95 years old company. They might have so many money, so much of Indian rupees, like millions of rupees they might have collected during this time. So they can use, but it depends on the overall the organization director's discretion. Here selling assets also good option. You can talk about selling assets. Another advantage of selling asset, you can see the asset in abundance. Something like you can use some example of selling asset. So they can sell some kind of one, let's say a building, or say some kind of their old machines. They can sell all lorries and delivery distribution vehicles. Right, all the assets they can sell. The asset in abundance. Therefore, it will be another quicker method, and more money can be raised as a result of that, and utilize this money to manufacturing of the sports gear. However, selling assets sometimes, that also depend on factor. Selling assets sometimes, if you get rid of the asset, then you have to replace those assets with a new one. It's another expense. Okay, like that you have to give two advantages and one disadvantages, and with the overall conclusion thing. So I'll show you the marking scheme there. So this 9-mark question. Option 1, the return profit thing, the application. HRMW has the return profit and could be used straight away to pay for the R&D for the tennis rackets. They has that. You can see that give some numbers also, because they established in 1925. So far the 95-year-old company, 9 decades they are doing business. So definitely they might have massive return profit. So you have to explain that point, give that point. So we'll give you mark a lot of application point you can learn out of that. And look at selling of assets. Selling of asset will be HRMW owns, and no longer users make good business sense. So that asset in abundance, you can get rid of that assets. Analysis point, because of HRMW has retained profit, the manufacturer of tennis racket can begin immediately and bring in revenue. So as I told you, R&D can begin immediately and bring more revenue. Selling asset also same, but selling asset, as I told you, HRMW has another source of finance and does not need to use the return profit or take out a loan. However, point of return profit, I told you, there will be insufficient return profit at HRMW. Even though they have 95-year-old business, sometimes some development projects are very costly. Sometimes it may be insufficient. And as a result of that, you can see HRMW would be have to take out a loan, which could be expensive as a result of that. So even though you can say, however, it will be insufficient, and they have to go to another loan, which would be again expensive. Selling asset, you can see evaluation. Look at this. However, it depends. Selling asset, there is no guarantee that it can do so in time. So there is no, because selling assets takes some time. Selling land is not easy task. Selling a motor vehicle is not easy task. It will take some time, which means it may have to find alternative source. alternative source of funds, thereby wasting time producing tennis racket for sale. Like that, this is a way they have to write 9-mark question. So this time, I think 2 good 9-mark questions we see. First one from the Kaizen and just in time. Second one, retained profit versus selling assets. So, right. So look at the, now we're going to the next question, the fourth question. Question number 4. Question number 4, there are only 3 questions, 2-marker, 6-marker, and 12-marker. The Indian government has said that the HRMW is one of the top 10 businesses in India. Wow. HRMW has been given more than 50 awards for its performance in exporting and for the quality of its products. This is actually a measure of judging success. Like organizations, they are giving these certificates and awards from the government. It's like judging success measures. And they are giving the HRM possible financial situation. Financial situations are there. Current assets, inventory, current liabilities. Current asset is 64,650 and inventory 42,450. Current liabilities 54,550 rupees 1,000. They're asking you to calculate to 2 decimal places. Always read this instruction carefully. 2 DP, 2 decimal points. The acid test ratio of HRMW. Your advice show your work. Acid test ratio is there in the formula sheet also. You're familiar with the acid test ratio. You can write the workings without writing the formula. But if someone actually not sure, not actually confident about the acid test ratio, please go to the formula sheet. Please go to the formula sheet and take a look at the formula first of all. Here we go. The acid test ratio is there. Current assets minus inventory over current liabilities. Current asset minus inventory over current liabilities. Okay, now come back to the question. Question itself, they mentioned, okay, these are mentioned the current assets minus inventory over current liabilities. Now apply that. Okay, so it's 64,650 minus inventory 42,450, that is 22,200, divided by 54,550. So answer coming 0.406966. So for the decimal, 2 decimal point they're asking, you can say it's 0.41. You can round off that 0 to the 1. So 0.41. I'll show you the workings. 2-mark question, acid test ratio. Acid test ratio is one of the important liquidity ratio. So answer is equal to 0.41. So current asset minus inventory over current liabilities. So answer is substitution of that 0.41. Okay. So then 2-mark question easily. Okay, now we are going to 6-mark question. Analyze why bank would be interested in HRMW financial documents if it were to apply for a loan to develop new sports product. This business was actually like a 90 years old business, and then they have enough records and 50 awards they have taken from the government, also one of the top 10 leading companies in India. So they're asking, analyze why bankers are interested in their financial documents, because when you apply for bank loans, bank manager must make sure that this business has more liquidity. In this case, actually the liquid level is, you can see applied, liquidity asset test ratio is 0.41, which is bad. Right? In our discussions previously, we talk about that asset test ratio should be ideal one is 1:1. One asset test ratio, one quick asset must have one current liability. But here it's only 0.41, less than 0.75, also not satisfactory. It's poor. They're having a liquidity problem right now. So if I am the bank manager, I'm thinking 2 times actually before actually giving this loan. I'm thinking twice, and I'm taking the advice from the head office also. What should I do here? Because the liquidity problem is there. Suddenly, the business is very well-known business. So, but the problem here, the organization is not that much good in assets right now. The position of the cash level is very low. You can see current asset this much, current liability after inventory level. You can see a lot of inventory they have. After deducting that, only 22,000 cash. Quick assets, and quick asset to the current liability is only 0.41 cents, 1 rupee. So it should be 1:1 perfect, at least 0.75. So this case, how to write a good answer when you apply for bank loans. how to write a good answer. I'll show you this marking scheme. When applying for a bank loan like that, banks may be into details of the financial situation of the HRMW to assess the risk of them of granting a loan. Bank manager must be first of all assess the risk of the granting a loan. So for the new sporting products, the banks would want to look at accounts for several years to see if there is a pattern or trend in HRMW success and if has any large debts. So because there is sometimes patterns, sometimes there are seasons, sometimes off seasons, right? So the sports events are there when there is a lot of demand coming, and there is no sports event, then less demand. So bank, they have a record of these things, and they know the pattern of these trends of their success and if has any large debts. And furthermore, you can see if the bank would want to see HR and MW has sufficient funds to pay back not only the loan but also the interest. That was really important. So ability of paying the loan, not only the loan but also the interest also they should make sure that they can pay. And if HRMW can prove that it has traded successfully for a number of years, it might receive a lower rate of interest on any loan. Right? It might have prove that it has traded successfully for a loan. Right? So that's it. So you can see 6-mark question. You have to write. This is a part kind of financial management. The different stakeholder interests on the financial statement. Talk about that. Bank manager want to make sure that the business can pay their loan in time and in full with the interest. You have to write those points there with the application of the sporting industry. Right. Let's go to the final question of this paper. The 12-marker. 12-marker structure I'll explain from this question. Evaluate the factors. Evaluate question always 12-marker. Evaluate the factors that make a business such as HRMW successful. You should use the information provided as well as your own knowledge of the business. Always they are mentioning that. That means go beyond the case study. Go beyond the case study and write your own imagination. Even problem, no problem. You can write the made up content also is okay. Evaluate the other factors that make the business such as HRMW successful. So these are sections of answering. There's a chapter called Measure of Judging Success. Measure of Judging Success. Remember, we talked about that in like a couple of weeks back. Evaluate the factors of judging success. In this case study, the beginning of this question, they have given some small para. Look at this passage. Especially they mention Indian government has said that HRMW is one of their top 10 business. One of the top 10 businesses in India. So this is a good certificate. And moreover, that they have been given more than 50 awards. 50 awards for its performance in exporting and the exporting category. 50 awards are there, they have won. It's another measure of judging success. Certificates and awards from the external parties. And for the quality of the products. So these are the very good application point you can write for this thing. Asking as analyze, so evaluate the factors that make the business such as this HRMW successful. So in this case, you have to define the knowledge of that. What is the meaning of the success? How to measure the success, right? So I would recommend to actually watch that video in that channel, YouTube channel, how to measure the success. I told you all the measure of judging success, everything in that particular lesson. So you can write down measure of success. Success is a kind of organization. They are defining the organization. You can see how others actually judging about you, how business actually performing, the market share, sales, revenue, and also the awards and rewards they earn. Those are the measures of judging success. So here they have to write like 2 advantages, 2 disadvantages, and the conclusion, 12 marker. Okay, so look at the model answer for this 12 markers. AO1, 2, 3, 4. All options are there. Assessment objective 1, knowledge, application, analysis, and evaluation. All 4 categories you have 3, 3, 3, 3. All 3 marks and 12 marks are there. So option 1, HRMW can judge its success by looking at the changes in its revenue. Changes in revenues is one option, one factor. HRMW can also measure its success by customer satisfaction. Second option. First option, changes in revenue, one option. Second option, they can measure the success by customer satisfaction. Okay, so revenue customer, even you can use other way, the awards and rewards also you can write, but they use another two methods. Even writing that also without defining success, you can write that the 2 points we are going to write, the introduction paragraph, the point that you are going to write, that's also considered as a knowledge level. Application, you can see between 2020 and 2022, the estimated revenue is set to increase by 8.51. This is we can find from the case study. In paragraph, we talk about this, we calculate this number from our previous answer. We had a 2-marker question came in the question number 2 to calculate the increase of the revenue. So you can use that number also. Okay, you can use that number in your answer. 8.51 means that's a mark that you're using there. We are using your own answer as application. Imagine that you can use that also in your application. And also, if customers are satisfied with the goods, they will return to HRMW. We can talk about that also, like now in customer satisfaction is important because of that repeat purchase. All the sportsmen will purchase their equipments only. If it's a cricket, everyone using all their equipment from Hansraj. Football, everyone using the Hansraj because they know the brand. Customer satisfaction lead to increase the repeat purchase, market share, everything. You can write about that. And AO3, you can see analysis point. If HRMW compared its revenue with those of its competitors, it gives an indication of its relative success. Indicator of relative success. If customers are happy of the sports product, they will spread the word of mouth. I told you, spread the word to family and friends, and which could increase the demand for the products, leading to increased sales. You can talk about demand for the products like sporting items like badminton rackets, boxing gloves, okay, like that. So and so you can talk about that. They can recommend to their friends and their family members. Word of mouth marketing, high customer satisfaction. Look at the however point. However, revenue is only a part of the success of the business. There are other factors also considered, like shareholders' dividends for their investment, right? And this may be conflict with the HRMW plan for expansion. It's very good evaluation. Right? However, there are other factors of judging success, such as dividend for shareholders. Sometimes there can be conflict between the objective of shareholder and the HRMW plans. And second point, however, customer satisfaction may be required to change the prices, and this could impact on revenue and profit, leading to less successful business. Somehow, you can satisfy the customer, but overall what happens, sometimes it can be impact on your revenue and profit, because sometimes higher the quality, higher the cost, then customer satisfied, but because of the high cost, your profit level will go down, leading to less successful business. So always see the two sides of the answer, two arguments of this. Okay, this is the first time I think this 12-marker came from a judging success story, right? So it's a very good question to refer before you are doing your mock exams. This time, judging success story, 12-marker question came this time from that different question. So today, that's the end of the paper, 2020 May paper, 2020 June paper, paper 2, investigating large business. We talk about that Hansraj, Maharaj, and Worldwide, that sport gear manufacturing organization. We successfully finished the paper. Question number 3 and 4 we finished. And my previous session, I record the question number 1 and 2. So if you want to see the whole paper, you have to see both videos, both of my videos. And if you have any questions, please, you can comment on the video, and you can use anything in the chat line and everything. I hope you enjoy the session. And see you next session in my next mock paper. I'm going to discuss the model paper next time. Okay, then see you everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Bye.
So thank you.